Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are around this beautiful planet of ours. Today's video is super exciting, at least for me, to present to you as it builds upon yesterday's video looking at dollar cost averaging into cryptocurrencies and how it can be a scam and generally is a scam. We actually have a live case example happening right now as we speak, and it is big. We're down 20% on some of these cryptocurrencies that have just broken through some lows. So before I go any further into that, make sure you've smashed up the like, subscribe, bell notification icon, all those little things that YouTube makes us do on this hamster wheel. It goes a long way, of course, for the channel, and lets YouTube know you want to see more of this and, I don't know, less of that. Today's video, let's not waste this opportunity with Bitcoin as well. There have been quite a few comments come up around, should I be dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, as people are waiting and expecting for some crazy reason 10K Bitcoin or lower. So we have come up to some resistance on BTC as well. So a lot to cover here. Let's just quickly recap what we were looking at yesterday. And today we're going to address the old FTX situation, as we were looking at this last year, and it's a crypto that we sell. This is why I specifically look at this particular type of analysis. So before I jump around too much, we got Bitcoin to look at, not wasting that opportunity when it comes to buying or DCAing, which can be a good thing in these bear markets, and DCAing in the bad sense, like we looked at in yesterday's video, which I'll leave a link to at the end of this video. As you can tell, I'm super excited. Let's answer this particular question here that I was looking at FTX and good and bad opportunities for cryptocurrencies. So as we're recording now, we got a lot of cryptos coming down a little bit here. Look, 24 hours, 4%, 8%, nearly 9% in the case of Doge. Big ones happening now, 16% for Solana, and if we can find it down the ladder here, FTX, 18%. It was at 20% at just a brief moment, and 30% over the course of the last 7 days. So that's the big couple that we want to have a look at today, which is why I talk so much about taking profits. And Solana was one of those cryptocurrencies that I publicly talked about taking profits on, got ripped apart, selling soul because people believed it had to go a little bit higher. I'm not going to bang on about that too much. So I just hope that you now see that, and hopefully through the next bull market, which I personally believe is definitely going to come, which always happens through cycles. We always get a bear market, we always get a bull market, we get the accumulation and distribution, etc. So just move forward and just remember that. Don't get caught up on any of these cryptocurrencies that people believe are going to be the next biggest thing. So what's happening right now for FTX? Some things have been found out. They're holding a lot of cryptocurrencies or a lot on their books, which are essentially just cryptos, and they're using that as a way to explain how much money they actually hold. So maybe they hold 2 billion worth of FTT tokens, but is it actually worth 2 billion if you can't sell it? This is cryptocurrency. All this stuff is just made up digital crap online. I know I talk about it like that, a lot like that, and people kind of get a little bit triggered. You know, how can you call this crypto crap or this NFT crap or this thing? Honestly, they're essentially all just shitcoins. I saw one yesterday about Matic. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Don't marry your altcoins. Don't marry your cryptocurrencies. My problem from this last cycle was marrying ETH and Bitcoin. You know, I could have taken some profits and not lost the drop that we had there. That'll be something I know for next cycle. Definitely take profits no matter what it is, no matter what you absolutely love. So Alameda Research, which is owned by Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX is also owned by Sam Bankman-Fried. Alameda Research reportedly obtained 2.2 billion worth of the FTT token, which is the FTX token, as collateral, a token created by cryptocurrency exchange FTX. FTT could plunge 30%, etc. Yes, well, it's plunged 30% right here. And you know we don't pay that much attention to the news. So going to the chart of FTT, let's do all the altcoin stuff right now. You can see that the macro right here had those monthly swing tops. That's what these yellow peaks are here. They're the troughs. They're the lower swing bottoms. So they're the swing bottoms and the lows are getting lower. We just broke down yet again. We're now down to $17.90. We had a low at $17.04. And so this is the signal that wraps up yesterday's video really, really nicely. We specifically talked about looking for breakouts of the monthly swing chart before dollar cost averaging meaning you don't have to buy the exact low. Now, the flip side is some of these opportunities can be really, really good. You could get some extremely good prices because of the fear that comes into the market. You get those nice quick dumps, and then who knows, smart money starts to buy it back up. If that is your game you want to play, I don't want to stop you from playing that game. Go ahead and play it. Personally, I'd rather play something a little safer, like I discussed in yesterday's video. But let me know in the comments down below. Do you like to go and play the game of shoot your load 100 times to hopefully win one or two of them at 100x? Or do you like to play it a little bit more conservatively and wait for the signals to tell you that the probabilities are in your favor to get bigger profits? There's different strategies for different people. I'd rather not be playing that 1 in 100 game, 1 in 1,000 game to get those 100 or 200 X's. I want to play it a little bit safer. So what we've seen from FTX just in the last 24 hours, if we bring this down to a shorter term time frame, let's go to the weekly. We just broke the June low here. So we had a October low like on Bitcoin. We had a June low like Bitcoin, and we've just broken down from those. So we still have 6 days to go for the end of the week. This could, in the week, hit some lower prices and then bounce all the way back up and close above the previous lows, which is set at $21. That would then be a bullish signal because it's wiped out all of the stops to the downside and has been bought up very, very quickly. So there's always a flip side to these sorts of signals, right? So in the short term, yes, it's weak. We've broken all these low levels. If we start to get multiple daily closes below this level, going to be very, very weak for FTX, right? So far we're only the first day underneath that low and we haven't even closed yet. We still got 20 hours. So it's still early days within this particular pattern here. Yes, you could get lower prices. Yes, you could buy a massive dip low this week and then who knows, by the end of the week, it closes all the way back up above $21. That is just the risk of the market. Do you take that short-term risk for a potential longer-term big upside? Maybe, but the probabilities are not on your side at this stage, or do you wait? All right, I'll leave that one up to you. I've told you the way I like to play it, but essentially this is exactly what we were looking at in yesterday's video, which I'll leave a link to at the end of this. Make sure you have liked it up so you get the little fireworks happening here when you click the like button. So that's FTT, and as you can see, it's got some pretty dire downside should, or if, maybe that's a better word for some people, if this continues to drop a little further. The next level, next target is approximately $10. You could range between $10 and $11. That was the previous support and resistance zone on the weekly chart. You can see here back in December of 2020 into January, a little bit of a pause. Otherwise, if it is to break down from that again, this is FTX. The next levels of support and resistance are around $4 to $5, which basically bring us into this zone where the market was testing before it broke out. So potentially a lot more downside. That's why I like to wait. The signal isn't there yet for the strength. With Solana, FTT, Solana is also at the verge of breaking down. Now, it hasn't done that just yet. This has been my position for a long time here. I've said Solana is weak. It's just technically speaking, it's the data from the chart that is telling us that. It's not my opinion. It's the buyers and the sellers that are telling us that. And if we can read a chart, we don't have to worry about all the on-chain stuff. We don't have to worry about the news. We don't have to worry about, is the smart money, pooling all their money into it now based on some sort of other metric. We don't need to worry about any of that. The beauty about this is it makes life really, really simple. And I hope you can simplify your own trading and investing, because when the bull market comes, things get really, really crazy, and the best way to be is to have everything simplified. Do not overcomplicate it with multiple indicators of moving averages and RSIs and Bollinger Bands and just all this crap over the chart. Do it as simple as it works for you, whatever that may be. Just make it really, really simple. So the support and resistance right now for Solana, the low here is at 25.70. That's today's price. If I go down to the daily, so that's the lowest price we've had today. The low that came in June was at 25.78. So we just touched a little lower than that, but we've bounced up from it. So this is a quick, sharp sell-off. It might just be in the firing line of the stuff that's going on with FTT, because Sam Bankman-Fried is heavily involved in Solana. They obviously hold a lot of Solana. So maybe people are believing, or maybe they're thinking, trying to front run it, thinking that FTX might have to liquidate some of their SOL to pay for whatever else is going on, just to raise some more funds. Now, whatever that is going on in the background, I don't know. There's no way to know. Only Sam knows that and his team. None of us know that until any sort of news comes, but the news will happen after. Well, the chart will show us what is going on right now, and the news will tell us later what the chart has already told us. So keep an eye on $25.70. If we start to get some daily closes under that level, we're probably going to go back and test all of these previous low levels that happened during the last bull market. Those prices are from around $19 up to about $22. So that's a significant, sort of 20 odd % drop from where we currently are. So any closes below this 25.70 for Solana, keep an eye on those lower levels. That's why I also haven't been getting into Sol. We really have not seen any signs of strength from Sol come in, especially on the monthly chart here. This was on a video I did ages ago looking at monthly market caps of Solana dropping lower. This is what it could come out to. These are the levels. That's what I got here, $19, maybe a little lower at 12. And you still have the possibility of $5. I'm not saying it's going to get there, and sure, drop your comments down there now if you need to. I'm not saying it's going to get to $5, but if it triggers you, by all means, go out, get your trusty keyboard, and leave us a comment down below. It does help out the channel as well. So that's what we're also seeing on the drops. Dogecoin, of course, pumped up. That was the breakdown. I believe I talked about that with our members in TIA. If it broke these levels, probably going to get some further downside, and here we are. Top prices, about 8.5 cents. You're probably looking for some sort of support here, 8.5 to about 9 cents from where we currently are. These are just the bigger ones that are moving down. Matic, on the other hand, is having a big move down, but it had a pretty good move up from the June low at 33 cents. We've now seen a bit of a pause here at $1.30 and coming back down to test these lows at $1.12. So a break of that on Matic probably going to send us back to somewhere around $1.10. $1.05. Which is still pretty strong overall. This is a much better pattern than the other cryptocurrencies. And like we looked at on yesterday's video, I was using Matic as the example here on the monthly chart, where it has broken that monthly swing top, which gives it more likelihood of not breaking the 30-cent low in June. Because it has started this trend up, there is a more probability of Matic holding these lower levels, whereas the other cryptos that you can see now, they're in the process of breaking down from these levels. This is the clear live version of the exact education I was trying to get through here in this video. We are seeing stronger cryptos versus weaker cryptos. Solana closing below $25, weaker crypto. FTT showing that right now. It could bounce up. Yes, there is that possibility as well. But for now, it is looking weaker. It hasn't given that signal yet. Matic, on the other hand, showing some strength. So essentially, what do you do from there? What is the action? How do you make money from this? Well, I would be looking for some sort of support to come in, any sort of higher lows or lows above that previous level on a macro time frame, not just the daily stuff. Look for the weekly and the monthly. And then they're the dips that I would be buying. And if I wanted to wait for more confirmation, I would wait for that move out of those dips. That's just for the safety. It's going to depend on your risk tolerance. Everyone is different. You might want to try and buy those lows. You might want to wait for the breakout to give you that confidence and that confirmation that, yes, this is the uptrend that we're waiting for. This is a stronger cryptocurrency. So that is all the cryptos. We're seeing a lot of red here on these major ones. I've covered those there. On to the case of Bitcoin, we are seeing a correction. Surprise, surprise. Hit 50%, 21,400 from this level. If you want to use this low, then it's 21,700, so getting quite close to that as well. We're going to see rejections. Healthy corrections are a good thing for the market, and a healthy correction from this particular run up, as these two lows here in October and September are very similar. The 50% level is at around 19.8, which sets us up pretty well with a long list of support and resistance levels at around 19.5, 19.6. A lot of price levels coming together. That's a cluster. That's a good sign if we are to hold that level. And like I said in the title, personally, I don't want to waste this opportunity again. I mean, I've been buying everything under 20,000, 19,500. I've been telling the members, I've been talking to you guys online. That's my buying area. Sure, if it goes to 13, 14, 15K, buy some more. But if we break 25.2, so 25,200, like in the case of Matic, breaking up on monthly swing tops, I would expect that Bitcoin doesn't break down from $17,500. We're not there yet. This is looking like the beginnings of it, but we're not just there yet. So I would still be looking for some opportunities under this 19.5. knowing that the probabilities are still balanced here to go a little bit lower, meaning breaking the 17.5, but once it breaks 25.2, then the probabilities swing in the favor of the bulls, meaning that we probably won't go too much below any of these lows here, 17 or 18K, maybe not even break those lows again. So we're still in the midst here with Bitcoin. Don't waste these opportunities. If you are finding yourself asking the question, when should I buy Bitcoin? Put your plan together, figure out how much you want to buy here at 19.5 or 20, where we are now at $20,000, 100, and say, look, if it does go this much lower to 12 or 13K, sell the dog, sell all that sort of stuff. I'm going to put it all into Bitcoin at those levels. But here you can basically buy these levels at a smaller amount. Not financial advice, just for the people who are asking the question, should I be buying now? Is it going to go lower? That sort of thing, right? Now, I left this alert up here. Obviously, I can't time these things, but Quant, this was a big one of the day last month in October as another example of people just saying, why aren't you talking about Quant? Quant is pumping, yada, yada, yada. These are the specific reasons. I'm so glad that this popped up live on the video right now as I'm recording it for you guys. This was Quant. This was the peak. Everyone was telling me to talk about Quant, talk about Quant. It's pumping. And what happens after those pumps? You can go back on those videos if you search those dates of probably around the 15th, 16th, and 17th of October where that peak came in. Talk about Quant. Why aren't you talking about that? I don't talk about it because it's at a peak where the noobs buy in, which you'll see the comments. Unfortunately, a lot of people got absolutely ripped apart from that because buying it $220, now down past 150. This is probably going to keep coming down as we've broken past these levels. Yes, there will be some bounces back, but as long as you're following the swing chart, which you can find a link to in the video description here, the Gann swing indicator, this is going to keep you safe in the market. On the macro here for Quant, you can see the downsides or the support potentially here at 150. So should we keep breaking down, look towards around that 130 level. Just to see if it can find some support. And maybe that's a crypto you can buy, not at the peaks, but at some lower prices if you believe the fundamentals are a good thing. So there's some clear ways not to buy the peaks when everyone else is buying them. Basically, the dumb money, as it's technically called, and you can wait for some lower prices and just understand the strength versus the weak side of the cryptocurrencies. Now, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, get the little fireworks going on. Check out the videos that are popping up here on your left-hand side, which was yesterday's video as well, the newest one there. Going to be very, very helpful for altcoin DCAing into this next bull market. None of my other views have changed so far. The charts and the data have not indicated any other sort of change just yet. So everything stands as it is. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you at the next video. Until then, peace out.